I'm Mikey Bledsoe, and this is Cookin and Pickin. Today, we're cooking Hillbilly Skillet Pie. That's my variation of a pizza. Now you say, light that fire.
Light that fire.
Oh, we're cooking and we're picking on the side of that mountain. Yes, we're picking and we're cooking, and you know the food is right, 'cause we're cooking and we're picking. Listen to the songs right here. Well, we're cooking and we're picking at the Luck Starr Valley, Tennessee.
All right, like I said today, we're gonna do a Hillbilly Skillet Pizza. Or Skillet Pie. That's what I like to call it. It's my variation of a pizza. Today on the program, I have Mr. Gerome Thomas.
Hello, sir.
Thank you so much for coming on. He's gonna sing
Absolutely.
us a song here in a little bit. He's gonna help me fix some pizza for you folks, and then
Yes,
we're
sir.
gonna step over to the stage. What I usually do on this pizza, I've got 2 cups of flour. Now you can use bread flour, you can use just all-purpose flour, whatever works best for you. I've got 1 or 2 tablespoons of Italian seasoning, 1 tablespoon of onion powder, about a couple teaspoons of sugar, some minced garlic, a little bit of butter. I've got about a quarter of a stick there. Your pepperonis, your cheese, and whatever you want to put on top. And that's about all you need for this recipe. We'll get together, start putting this thing together right now. Oh, you also need some warm water. But it's what I like to do is get all my dry ingredients put together. Get everything all in your bowl. Get it mixed up real good in there. It's pretty simple. Not a whole lot to it. Now, while that's mixing together, I like to take about 2/3 of a cup, 2/3 of a cup of water, warm tap water, which is about that much. Put you a little bit of sugar in there. And all that does is help this yeast. And what we're doing is we're gonna proof this yeast and let it get good and proofed. Mix that up real good. While that's proofing, and the way you know it's proofed, it'll bubble. You'll get some bubbles up there. It'll start to activate here in just a minute. You want to get that off there, get it mixed up real good. There we go. Now, just let that sit for a minute and it'll get to doing its thing. I like to take just a little bit of, not a lot, but a little bit of olive oil, and I'll put it right there in the middle of that little bowl that I've made. And once that gets proofed, we'll put that on there and we'll start mixing it together. All right, before we go any further, one thing I did forget to do, which I always do, I like to put a little bit of salt and pepper in there. But that's okay. We'll put it in after the fact and then mix her up a little bit. Get that mixed in there, because you want to make sure that salt's mixed in there good, because salt is not good for yeast. And then take your yeast, which is proofed. You can see it's got the bubbles on top there, so we're ready to go now. It's looking good. And pour that right in there, just like that. Remember, that was hot water. It was up right out of the tap, just as hot as you can get it. Mix that in there real good. Boy, I can smell it now. Not even cooking yet. That Italian seasoning and all. And I've got some more hot water over here.
You're just gonna add it as you need it?
Just add it as I need it. It's a texture thing. I couldn't tell you exactly how much to put in there. It's definitely a texture thing. You just want to get that texture, and I'll show you what it's supposed to look like right here in a minute.
All right.
You just add it as you need it. You need a little bit more. You don't need a whole lot in it because you don't want it runny like a pancake batter. You want to get that good stretch to it. Once you get it about right there, This is where it gets messy. Now, take that off there. Now this is the fun part.
That's where you got to get your hands dirty, huh?
Yeah, yeah. And because we are outside and I don't have running water out here, I like to wear these little gloves. If I can get them on. These are the awfulest things to put on your fingers. All right, then you take it and start to get it mixed up real good in there. And what I always do is I said it takes 2 cups of flour, but always have you just a little bit extra, because what we're gonna do is put a little bit right there on our table. Mix it around real good, just so it don't stick to the table or yourself. Just fold it over back on itself and just keep folding it and kneading it. And you need to knead this for about 5 to 10 minutes. That's all you need. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna put it back in your covered bowl.
All right.
And you're gonna let it sit for about an hour. Pull it back out and knead it again. Then you're gonna put it back in the bowl and let it sit for, I don't know, 3 hours or so. And then you pull it out and you knead it for the last time, and that's when you're ready to use it. You get your workout doing this. Get it mixed in there real good. Once you get down to the consistency you need, what I like to do is take just a little bit of the olive oil, and I can get a hold of it. Put it back in my bowl. Mix that around just a little bit. And the reason I'm doing that is just simply so it won't stick to it. And I'll get a little bit on both sides. Once you do that, take you a towel or some of that plastic covering and put on it. Today I've got a little lid I'm gonna sit on top of it. I'll leave it a little bit loose so it gets some air. Set it in a nice warm place and let it sit for about an hour. And like I said, then you're gonna knead it again. All right, this has been sitting for about 3 hours. Let it sit for an hour. I kneaded it, and now it's been sitting for another 3 hours or so. And as you can see, it has doubled in size. So that's about what you want. You're ready to go. I have put a little flour on my board here. We're gonna pull it back out. Oh yeah, it's looking good. Pull that back out, and we're gonna knead this in and get it the consistency we want. Ready to go. It's looking good. You want to look there again, knead it for about 5 to 10 minutes or so until you feel as though you're happy with the consistency. And I always like to make sure you got a little flour sitting there just in case you need it.
I'm kind of glad you're doing the cooking today and I'm just doing the picking. This meal's a lot of work.
It is, but it's good. It's good. Now this pizza sauce that we're going to use is a store pizza sauce. You can make your own, and I'm saving that for another episode. We will do that one day. You can use a rolling pin, or like I call it, a husband trainer, if you want. Today we're just going to push it out with our fingers. Pull it over kind of like a mushroom.
And while you're working hard on this kneading, man, I never had a chance to come out here to your property.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
The drive out today was intoxicating.
We love it out here. We love the fact that we've got the stage and the area to do stuff like this.
Absolutely.
And to be able to invite my fellow musicians and singers and songwriters out with us.
Sir. Man, it being fall, just the colors on the way out,
it's absolutely beautiful.
Beautiful day today.
Over here in the Sequatchie Valley. All right. The next thing I like to do is I like to get this butter on the grill and get it melting. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna put that minced garlic that I minced up earlier in that butter and mix it all up and make a real good drawn butter garlic right here in just a minute. While that's working, we're gonna take this dough, gonna put it in our pan. And then I like to take my fingers and just get it all over to the sides. Get it good in there. If you tear a little hole in it, that's okay. Pinch it back together. It's all right. Get a little bit down there in the middle. Sometimes I do this. I do a stuffed crust. Today we're not doing that. We're doing a little bit different. Once you get all that ready, now all we have to do is wait on this butter to melt, and we'll be ready to put it on. All right, this butter is about ready to go. Let me pull it off there. Oh yeah.
Man, that garlic.
Oh, God, love it. And what I like to do is take my garlic butter and just paste it right there on this dough. Now, what I've seen a lot of people do is they'll use garlic powder, and I thought, well, no, I'm not going to do that when I can do the real stuff.
That's right.
So I like to.
And folks, I know you can't smell this, but you want to.
I wish we had.
It smells wonderful.
Smell-o-vision would be a wonderful thing at this moment. But I like to get plenty on there. Boy, it looks good. All right, once we do that, the next step is let's get our ingredients put together here. Let me get this glove off. Now, one of the things that I did today is I'm just using a store-bought pizza sauce. You use whatever your favorite one is. I do make my own pizza sauce. I didn't for today's episode. That's another episode altogether. We will be doing that in the future. But I like to get a little bit of that pizza sauce on there. Mix it around. Oh, it's looking good. Yeah. Get plenty on it, but don't put too much. A lot of people like extras, some people don't. Once I do that, now it's time for the cheese.
All right.
And I like a lot of cheese. You can never have too much cheese. That's what they always say, right?
Absolutely.
I'm using a shredded mozzarella. You can use whatever you want. This is just a traditional pizza. That's another one of them big words. Oh, yeah. This is a Hillbilly Skillet Pie right here. And you use whatever you want. Sometimes I do a supreme. I'll use a bunch of vegetables, some onions, some bell peppers, some jalapenos.
Oh, yeah.
Today, we're just going to do a traditional pepperoni pizza. Make sure you get plenty of pepperonis on there. All right, once I get all my ingredients on my pizza, I like to stick it on my grill.
We're just going to take the pan straight to the grill.
Take the pan straight to the grill. Now, what
right.
I've done is I've got a 12-inch skillet, and there's a 12-inch lid off of one of my Dutch ovens.
Okay.
And that way, we can get that top done real good.
Oh, man.
Now, you can do this in a Dutch oven, or you can do it in a skillet.
So this is going to make it bake instead of just cooking from underneath.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And I like to put plenty on top because I like to get that cheese good and done with maybe even a little bit of crusty on it. Once you get that done, I like to put the lid on it and let her set for a few minutes. All right, I think this pizza's about ready. Let's take a look and see what we got. Oh, yeah, she's looking good. Let me get my gloves on. I guarantee you that skillet's not bearskin friendly. All right. Yeah, that looks good right there.
Yes, sir.
Well, while that's cooling, Mr. Jerome,
Yes, sir.
can I ask you a few questions?
Absolutely.
Now, you've been playing music for a few years. You're a singer-songwriter.
Yes, sir.
You've been playing, well, you've been all over the Southeast.
Just about, yeah.
You used to live in Florida. Now you live in the Chattanooga, Tennessee area.
Yes, sir.
Of course, your day job has took you different places through the country. How old were you when you got into the singer-songwriting end of the music?
So singer-songwriting into the music, probably, mid-30s. Is when I really got into that. It's when I started making some music on my own. Gotcha. Spent my whole life playing music,
Yep,
but, always
yep.
playing, someone else's music or playing for someone else.
I
And,
got you.
It coincided right with a good time in my life because a lot of transitions were happening. And so I just started to write my own stuff and decided I was going to, follow my own path, with how I play
understand.
music. Yeah.
Now, when you first got started, you got started in church, kind of like I did.
Oh, yeah. I was 9 years old, and I went and got a guitar pack, which was, a little Strat-looking thing.
Right,
And,
right.
a little bullet reverb amp, a little 8-inch speaker. And there was a stairwell in the back of the platform. And I cut my teeth sitting back there where no one could hear me. I played solos all the time, solo,
Yeah.
they couldn't hear me. And
I understand.
that's where I kind of cut my chops, learning how to follow that left hand on the pianist and learning how to jump in just whatever key they were
Gotcha.
at. You better play it like they wanted it. And, never went to any kind of classically trained type stuff for music. But if you've ever had a gospel organist instructing you, they're not playing around.
That's right.
Absolutely
That's
right. So
that's where I came up myself. And I know a lot of your songs, and we're going to play one of them for these wonderful people here shortly.
Yes, sir.
But your songs, you can tell, you can hear that that gospel influence in your music.
Yeah. Some people ask, what is, what kind of music do you play? And I'm like, well, yes, that's the answer. But but really, no. You got some get down gospel, influence in there, and also, the Southern roots there. Just growing up in the South and being around Southern blues and stuff my whole life.
I got you.
And a love for soul and Motown. And
that's
and
what
we
draws me
brought down.
to you, because I'm a big Motown fan myself.
Absolutely.
I love that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the only guy that pulls out the parking lot blaring Aretha Franklin,
I heard that.
and something,
I heard
because
that.
that's just.
Well, speaking of
where I
that,
like to
who
be.
are some of your influences?
So it's so all over the boards. As a young kid, I remember my life changed, and it's funny because they're having a reunion tour right now. But my life changed when Oasis's "What's the Story" Morning Glory released, and we were on CDs then, and
Yes,
I bought that CD 3 times because I laser burned tracks out of it.
Oh, wow.
Because I loved the music, but I also fell so in love with the layers and the process that they were using to make it sound that way. And I would find myself at night just in headphones, laying in bed, just over again, play the song over again.
Oh, wow.
Play the song over again. And it was learning, what are all those little layer nuances in there? What are the dynamics? And music became this thing that was bigger than just the sound of it.
Yeah,
To me,
yeah.
it became, I wanted to be a part of all those layers and understand what was happening to make that music.
I understand. And you've got a project that you've been working on for a little while.
Yeah, so we were talking about how we got to know each other. We started this project together, actually.
We did.
And with the job changes and things that happened in my life, and I've lost a lot of my ability right now to play out as much as I was.
Right.
And you can't pay a band,
Right.
can't keep them busy. So a lot of my music outlet in the last year and a half or so has been in the studio at my house. And I originally had the title of the album and all that, and the music was set up, and it changed so much over that year and a half and how I was approaching different songs that I kind of just went back to scratch and said, I got to start this all over again. And so I aptly named the project Time Alone. And it's a nice mix of all the things I'm into. There's some lo-fi in there. Really love that lo-fi ambient background stuff.
Oh,
and,
yes.
Bleeding into soul and blues. And there's a lot of honesty in there. That's a big part of what I consider my songwriting is. I'm not very good at writing songs that are, I guess, fun or for someone else. My songs just come from my life. They come from, so when I say something in there, it's how I express my feelings or
Life
emotions.
experiences.
Yeah, absolutely. And
that's what makes you a great songwriter, along with others.
I hope. Yeah, I hope. It's the whole 4 chords and the truth. I don't know if I just use 4 chords, but I try to speak truth in my lyrics. They have to come from somewhere that means something to me. So.
I got you.
Yes, sir.
All right. It looks like we got us a nice little pizza here.
Yes, sir.
Let's cut us a couple pieces and see what we got. How you like my fancy pizza cutter?
There you go.
Oh, I
It's
can hear
what
that
gets the
crisp
job
on the
done.
bottom, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Getting those little slice right through there. All right. It ain't the prettiest pizza, but it's a pizza. Here, get you a piece, buddy.
All right, man. I'll dig right on in here.
Yeah, let's give her a shot and see what we
Yes,
got.
sir.
Oh, look at that cheese.
Yes, sir. All
Oh,
right.
look at that. That bottom turned out just a golden brown. That's just beautiful.
Yes, sir.
Oh, let's give her a shot and see what we got. To you, my friend.
Yes, sir.
Of course.
That dough is wonderful.
Oh,
Man,
That is a wonderful pizza.
you want to eat this.
Oh, you do. Now, you
right.
mentioned you was going to sing a song for us.
I'll sing you a song or two if that's what you want me to do today.
What song you going to do for us today?
I think today I'm going to start off with a song I wrote called Need Me to Be.
Need Me to Be. Well, let's step over to the stage and see what you got.
Yes, sir. Let's get there.
Do you play music or are you a songwriter?
I was winded, breathless.
Did you know there's a professional recording studio right here in Pikeville? Schultz Recording Studios is a state-of-the-art recording studio in a custom-designed facility to make your talent shine.
You know I want you. Ask you.
Call us today to book a session and get your fire burning.
This is the Luck Starr Event Venue, located right here in beautiful Pikeville, Tennessee. We can cater to any event you may have, such as weddings, birthdays, baby showers, and music events, and much more. If you're interested, please contact us at 423-762-3097. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've made it back over to the stage. Again, I'm Mikey Bledsoe. This is Cookin and Pickin, and our guest today is Mr. Gerome Thomas. Thank you so much for coming on the show with us.
Yes, sir.
I really do appreciate it. Now, you said you're going to do a song for us.
Yeah, I'm going to do a song called Need Me to Be.
Well, do me a favor. Tell us a little bit about the song, and let's hear it, buddy.
Yes, sir. So, wrote this song sometime after going through very big tragedy in my life and, taking its toll on other relationships. And, I found myself in songs writing my truth. And, I just wrote this about the struggles in my relationship after that tragedy and where I felt myself at. So, hope you guys enjoy this. And what can I say about how I feel? Words that could heal, my lips stay sealed. 'Cause first things first, I gotta get past my hurt. 'Cause how can I fix you when I'm broken the same way too? So if you have to leave, reason must be that I can't be the man you need. Well, this whiskey lies, but then again, so do I. How to fix this hell now, baby, I can't tell. And there's just too much water underneath this bridge for me to hang it up, for me to call it quits. So if you have to leave, the reason must be that I can't be the man you need. So if you have to leave,
So if we're through, I won't blame you.
Again, I'm Mikey Bledsoe. This is Cookin and Pickin. I'd like to remind you to like, share, subscribe, and keep your fire going. Until next time, we'll see you later.
And what can I say about how I feel? Words that could heal, my lips stay sealed. 'Cause first things first, I gotta get past my hurt.